Yes, my Between the Liners, can you believe it? This week we had 3 wildcards used already, 2 free hits used already. Last week we had a triple captain used already as well. Some of you lot are in the wrong profession, I'm telling you now, because some of your risk-taking abilities are incredible. Whatever you're doing, you need to be buying stocks and shares. Guys, let's get into the review for FPL BTO Pods League Game Week 2 review. We had 5 new entrants this week. I don't know if that was the back of the YouTube video or Insta. I don't know. So whoever was new this week, welcome to you guys. Some of them were, I think, someone called Lewis. Big up my little cuzzy Ijaz coming into the league this week as well. We're going to get onto him later. If you're not involved in the league yet and you want to get involved, the code is here right now and in the description. So sign up to the league. Get involved. There's monthly prizes. Whoever gets the most points at the end of the month will get a prize. And obviously there'll be an even bigger prize at the end of the season. Let's get into it like last week. You'll be interested to, or you'll be pleased to know that there are plenty of howlers for me to get into. Shahan, let's hope you don't get rinsed this week. You're lucky because you've changed your team up. At least this time you didn't have Haaland on the bench. But we'll get into you a bit later. We're going to have to take it into one place and one place only. Going into the bottom team of the league, it's Lewis with Jurgen flip-flop. He got 36 points this week. He got 33 points last week. Lewis, I don't know who you are, but you're struggling right now. And you know what? I feel like you was a bit unlucky this week. Your team isn't that bad, as you can probably see here. Your bench is disgusting, though. All of them on 0. You got Hennessy, still got Joao Cancelo, who looks like he's leaving. You still got 2 Luton players as well. Lewis, do us all a favour. Fix up your team, please, my brother. Let's get some more points on the board. Don't get too upset, though, because you're still not too far off the top, and you can make it back. And you can aim for the monthly prizes as well. We're going to take it onto the guy who I'm going to have to give Howler of the Week to, unfortunately. I'm sorry. It's Karan. It's Maradonuts. We mentioned him last week with a Howler. I'm going to mention him this week with a Howler. He's got the lowest points in the league with a measly 20 points this game week. His team is, you know what? It's not that bad. Look, Sanchez, Stones, Shaw. Stones is a howler, though, because he's injured till September. And there's quite a few of you that have got Stones in your team, so you lot better fix up ASAP. Shaw, you can't blame him for. Trent, Grealish, Rashford, Saka, Fernandes, Haaland, Darwin. I'll tell you what, that's not even a bad team. But 20 points is an absolute stinker. Karan, you need to sort out your team ASAP. I'm going to take it on to the next people. And you know what? Fair play, Karan. You had Trent as captain instead of Haaland. You tried something different. I rate it. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off. Let's take it on to the next guys who got under 30 points. Second lowest points in the league this game week. And it's Ryan with Bad to the Bowen. 25 points. And again, like Karen, Ryan, I have to admit, your team actually ain't that bad. Your bench stinks, to be honest. You got Lamptey and Spence, 2 right backs who don't even play. What are you thinking? You got Stones in there who's injured till September 16th. Do your research, Ryan, please. And to be honest, the rest of the team ain't that bad, but you've had a shocking week. We're going to take on to the next guy that got under 30 points this week. Saib with Bondu's FC. Absolutely stinks. 27 points. And again, I'm not going to lie, your team isn't that bad overall. You got saved by Saliba, who got 8 points, and he got 2 bonus points as well. So you got lucky there, otherwise you'd been on about 19, 20. But come on. I'm going to say this now for the rest of you watching this video. Anyone that picks a DM, Shahan, I'm looking at you as well. Anyone that picks a DM in your team in fantasy football absolutely stinks. Unless it's maybe Rodri, because you might get a goal or assist or bonus points. The rest of you picking a DM, any DM outside of Rodri is going to stink. Saib has practically got 2 DMs or 2 box-to-boxes that don't get goals, don't get assists. He's got Souček, which is insane, But maybe he's thinking Ward-Prowse effect into Souček. Souček barely scores, by the way, just so you know. He had that little purple patch when he first came. Other than that, he doesn't score. And he's got newly signed a Premier League record signing, 150 million. Caicedo, who got him a measly 1 point as well. Sahib, you've had a howler. Picking Gakpo as well. Pretty sure he cost out Gakpo all last year when he signed for Liverpool. Whatever, son. That's the 3 teams who have had the most howlers in the week, especially. Souček and Caicedo DMs stinks. We'll take it on to the next guy, Isaac. I feel like he might have been bottom last week. Fair play to Isaac. He's rised up 2 places, and that's even after 4 people join or 5 people join. I think this guy has given up. He's called Team Easy. He's got Cancelo and Ndombele, Timber, who's injured, Balogun, who doesn't play, and a Luton player. I feel like he's actually not playing this game anymore. Isaac, please let us know if you're all right. We just want to know you're all right. Or have you given up? It's cool, whatever. Let us know. You still got time to get into the top, so keep working on it if you're still playing. My guy, Coach Watson. We're going to have to speak about this one, Coach Watson, man. Coach Watson, sorry, his team name is Soccer Stat Lab. He's got Sancho in there for the 2nd week running. And I know he said in the Insta comments as well that he wants to support Sancho and he thinks he's going to have a big season. Coach Watson, you're taking a big risk early on. And also Raul Jimenez up front. Stinks a little, Coach Watson, man. Serious. I don't remember the last time that guy scored a Premier League goal, and it was probably before his injury. Moving it on, Tyler Rooney Tunes. This guy I respect a lot, but I respect because he's used his wild card, firstly. Massive move. Game week 2. Used one of his wild cards already. I respect it. I respect the risk taking. I respect the bravery, the thought process. I get it. You did badly last week. You wanted to change it around. You got 31 points. Imagine sacrificing a wild card in game week 2 just to get 31 points. Tyler, Rooney Tunes, I'm so sorry. You've had a stinker. Absolute stinker. Fair play, you got Alvarez in there, which was a good pick. The rest of your team ain't actually that bad, but you've had a howler this week. I'm sorry. We'll move on to the next guy. And this guy is new into league this week. He's my little baby cousin. He got 36 points. I'm not going to cuss him out too much. He had a decent pick in there with Paqueta. You got 6 points. Fair play, Ijaz. And his team is called Gimme the Money. But you got 36 points, my little bro. You're in 37th place in the league. You've got a long way to go. Last week's howler of the week, Shahan Kitabe, who had Haaland on the bench, if you remember correctly. He had Zakiri as captain. This week, fair play to him. He's got 53 points. At least he's turned it around. I'm glad to know Haaland was playing this week, but he had him as captain, which, by the way, a lot of us had Haaland as captain this week, and those of us that did, I'm sure we're regretting it. Myself included, because obviously he only got 2 points, doubled into 4. There were a few people who didn't have Haaland as captain, but I'll get to them a bit further. But Shahan, well done to you, finally fixing up your team. You had Odegaard in there and Douglas Luiz in there, which is good picks as well. Douglas Luiz got him 7 points. Odegaard obviously got him 11 points. Shahan, fair play to you, picking up from last week after your howlers last week. Shahan with I Put Judge on You, who got 38 points, which is, you know what, overall, the groups had a pretty bad week overall. The points average was really low. Shahan, I cussed you out already when I was talking about Saib's team. Any team that has a DM in their team in FPL stinks. Casemiro, once again, I said it last week, you cost him for the last 2 years straight, said you didn't know who he was. He's got you 2 points this week. But come on, it's just not going to work. I hope you fix your team for next week. Someone needs to tell Shahan what he needs to do. We'll take it on to the next howler. This guy also used his wild card. It's Tan, and his team is called Nunes. He used his wild card in game week 2. It got him a decent 50 points, to be fair. But to sign Sterling, Tan, if I remember correctly, you're a Liverpool fan. I don't know if you're thinking about the old Sterling. This new Sterling is not going to get you goals and assists. I'm sorry. Unless Poch works a miracle, it's not happening. The next howler and the final howler of the week in 16th place, actually, so it's quite high up to have a howler, is Gary with his team is called Zagaza, although we got 54 points. One of the biggest howlers this week, and it's not really his fault, to be honest. The player got a sending off, and maybe a harsh sending off as well. McAllister with the lowest points out of all the players in our 45-man team league. McAllister got -2 points, which absolutely stinks. Yeah, if Gaz actually got those 2 extra points, he would have gone into 12th, 13th instead of 16th, actually. Lads, that's the howlers for now. Let's take it on to the genius picks. And this week we had quite a few. Let's be real, anyone that had the Brighton players who are flying right now, you probably smashed it. I'm going to go in order. Shahan, well done to you, showing you do have a bit of ball knowledge at least. You had Matoma, who got an unbelievable 12 points. Dan with Derby Day, who I picked out last week in the Howlers. Well done to you. You were one of the few people that didn't have Haaland as captain. You had Luis Diaz as captain, who got him 7 points times 2, so 14. Well done to you, Dan. Tufael, whose team is called Party Time, he smashed it. He got the single most points for a single player this week. He had Matoma as captain, 12 times 2, got him 24 points as Matoma, even though he had Haaland in the team as well. So did Dan, by the way. They both had Haaland. There's a few teams that had Salah as captain over Haaland, which worked out well for them. I think, did Salah get... Salah got assists, right, if I'm not wrong? Salah got, he got a goal and a penalty missed. So he got -2 for the penalty missed, unfortunately for the guys that had Salah as captain, but at least he scored a goal. Those guys were Mahir, Midjan, and Haroon and Naib, all had Salah as captain despite having Haaland in their team. Fair play to you guys. You made a brave move, a riskier move than I wanted to do. And Midjan also had Mbeumo, who absolutely smashed it. He got 16 points. And I've been telling you guys, even in the last video, Brentford and Brighton picks, they're the ones to go, man. Brentford are an unbelievable team. People think because they got Tony that they're not going to score a lot of goals. The way they're set up, they score a lot of goals, and they're a threat every game I've seen them in the Premier League. Which reminds me, Nojmal, again, with Team Hosena, I'm pretty sure I wrote this down somewhere. He had Wissa again, who got in them unbelievable 11 points. I think Wissa and Mbeumo both scored as well. I think Mbeumo got an assist. Anyone that had Mbeumo this weekend, absolutely smashed it. And I think there weren't many of us, it was only 3 of us, me, Midjan and Jeeve with Lord of the Ings. Speaking of Lord of the Ings, he also had Watkins and Haaland up front. And he chose Watkins as his captain, which ended up being a genius move because Haaland obviously didn't score and Watkins scored. Fair play to you, Jeeve. Niall with the Garnacho 7, he had an outstanding 22 points because of Odegaard as captain instead of Haaland. And Arky, I'm going to have to come to you because this is one of the best teams of the week I've seen, to be fair. He got a high 60 points, which was high compared to the rest of the league. He had Estupinan in there, who got him 11 points, and Mbeumo in there. And I praised him for this last weekend as well. His team's called Rice Rice Baby. Solly March got him an outstanding 15 points. What a pick. What a differential. Arky, I rate that completely. I praised you on it last week. You kept the faith. You had him in there as in your team as again. You got Mbeumo as Arky. You know what you're doing. Brentford and Brighton players. That's the way to go. I respect that a lot. Safe with the underachievers had a free hit. He used his free hit this week, which was very brave, and it worked out well for him. A free hit is when you can change all your players this week, and then at the beginning of the next game week, your players that you originally had go back to that lineup. So he had a free hit this week. He's used it, and to be fair to him, he got a massive 64 points. Worked out well for him. He also didn't even have Haaland in the team, which I respect completely because I think you're the only one in the league that didn't actually pick Haaland. Well done to you, Safe. You had Salah as captain, you had Estupinan, you had Odegaard in there, you had Mitoma in there, you had Awoniyi in there as well, the only guy in our league to have Awoniyi in there this week. Fair play to you, Safe. Massive week for you. Big points gap minus. So big points for you. Lads, I think that's about the best picks until we take it to the team of the week. And this is where it gets interesting, boys. For the second week running, my mate Andre, the team is called the Dark Side. He is top of the league for the second week running. He's also got the most points in the league for the second week running. Last week he had 84. This week he's got 70. Last week he used his triple captain. This week he has used his wild card. I wish there was confetti flowing down right now and like loud clapping, etc., etc. Dre has used his wild card already in game week 2 and his triple captain already in game week 1. What's he got left? Bonus, bench bonus or whatever. And he could have used it this week, to be honest, because he had 14 extra points on the bench with Areola, Trippier and Guehi. Areola would have got him 10 points. His starting lineup, Estupinan, Saliba, Akanji, unbelievable defence. That defence alone got him 26 points. He had Mitoma in midfield. He had Mbeumo in midfield. And you already know how I feel about them guys. Unfortunately for Dre, he also had Haaland as captain, which he could have gone even further if he picked even Mbeumo or Mitoma. He had Haaland as captain. Dre, shout out to you. I didn't give you full credit last week. I'm giving you full credit this week. Team of the week has to go to you. Fair play to you. What an unbelievable squad there. It will be interesting to see. Guys, get in the comments. Let us know what Dre is going to do next week. Is he using the bench boost? Is he going to be bottom of the league? We don't even know. Who knows with Dre anymore? He's doing the absolute madness. Picks of the week has to be Estupinan. Goal and assist. Brighton's left back. Tunde said it a couple of weeks back on the show. Possibly the best left back in the league last season and maybe this season. Unbelievable signing from Brighton. I think they only signed him for like 11 mil or 16 mil from Villarreal after they sold Cucurella for 55 mil to Chelsea. Unbelievable signing. Foden got 9 points. I think Coach Watson picked him. Shout out Coach Watson. Saliba got 8 points. Odegaard got 11 points. Douglas Luiz got 7 points. Mitoma got 12 points. Emi Martinez, I think Bilal had him. His team's called Pilau Pudding. He had 8 points, which is a big shout. Emi Martinez, bit forgotten recently. And then Mbeumo, who has to be the pick of the week, 16 points. I think there was 3 or 4 of us that had him. Jeeve, myself, Dre, and a couple other people maybe. You guys, what an interesting week. Unfortunately, our average was lower than last week compared to the rest of the league, and we've also gained 5 extra members this week. Anyone else that wants to get involved, links right here, right now. Code is right here, right now. Join the league, especially if you want prizes. Remember, if you want to win prizes, you're going to have to be subscribed and following on Insta or TikTok, one or the other. Stay tuned. Make sure you get in the comments and explain your howlers, please. If any of you have made a howler, own up for it. Take accountability. Explain your howlers in the comments right now. Anyone that's made a genius pick, let us know why you made those decisions, or you probably don't want to share the recipe. Dre, get in the comments. Tell us. Free triple captain already, wild card already. What are you going to be doing next week? Guys, like the video, it will help a lot. Get in the comments, it will help a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned to the Between the Lines podcast. We'll see you in the next game week. Peace out. Between the Lines.